2007 and 2010, our transportation emissions did not decrease, they didn't hold steady, they actually went up 22%. I mean, that should be like this red bullet. And you have to really sort of dig through to even find that.
The Burlington Planning Commission met to look over a new climate action plan calling for a 20% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2020, but emissions actually increased 7% from 2007 to 2010. The city has been working on climate issues for more than a decade. According to consultants, the top 3 strategies are more energy-efficient homes and commercial buildings and less driving.
This is an amendment to the Municipal Development Plan to adopt the new 2012 Climate Action Plan. That
first page, it's the second to last bullet. The city will educate its citizens regarding the benefits of public utility ownership. And to me, that just sounds like we're lobbying for our own utility. And many would say that cities don't necessarily belong in the public utility business. That sometimes we get too immersed, and it can be a negative financially. I know not too long ago there was discussion of potentially selling BED. I don't think we should hold it out as this sort of sacred thing that we need to actually educate the public about the benefits of it. I'm just having a little trouble with that. If it does it on its own merits, great, but I think to be promoting it when there may be a hybrid model that's better, I'm not advocating one way or another, I just think it's something to think about.
I do think there is value to having the public have a voice in utility decisions. It's actually what led to the creation of our demand management program, the energy efficiency program in Burlington. And so I think, you know, without that, there wouldn't have been any public involvement, and that really was a result of the whole discussion around Hydro-Quebec and then how much power we use, and that really created that whole program. So I think it is important that we recognize that there is a unique benefit to having the public have a say in these energy decisions. So maybe there's a way we could word it a little differently, because it has been a very significant part of how our energy programs have evolved in the city.
And I really commend the city of Burlington for doing this. There was a recent study that was done in various municipalities across the state of California on the amount of emissions reductions that's able to be quantified back to the existence or non-existence of a climate action plan, or even a committee, or even a commitment as Burlington has made to participate in the Mayor's Climate Protection Agreement, started by the Mayor of Seattle, I want to say like 99 or something like that. They found that what's the most important thing is actually the build-up of community engagement, that was more of a prevalent sort of showing of effect, cause and effect, than the actual existence of a climate action plan.
It's true. You do hear whenever there's a heat wave anywhere in the summer in this country that it's a lot of people who are more vulnerable who end up dying, and it's not they're not necessarily people of means who could afford air conditioning. They're people who are lesser means.
Is there anything in the document, sorry I don't remember, talking about the impact of road development and other development on low-income populations, or because that is definitely a discussion, and particularly around health disparities, for example, where people that are living near big roads or and can't move to a place where there's less pollution, for example, having adverse health impacts because of that. So I was just wondering if there's anything that speaks to that.
not currently in climate action, not in the draft that you have.
Because I think we'd be missing an opportunity if we didn't speak to current actions that could have an adverse impact on, in terms of air quality and pollution, on disadvantaged populations, low income in particular, that don't have options to move to other places.
It would be nice to see it somehow articulated that, okay, here are the targets, and this is where we're at, and we're way off. We haven't reduced, we've actually increased. So that even though we've reduced building emissions, both public and private building emissions, I think the fact that we've gone up 22% in a 3-year span is a huge concern, and that also implicates other city policies, whether it's creating more parking, roads, parkways, you name it. And we really need to start thinking about that as a huge issue as we talk about other automobile-related issues.